Here we go. She's got it. All I did was kind of like fiddle around for a bit after going to the after like, you know, oh, my temperature's thingy, and yeah, then I was just like, I don't know what to do, and I quit and came at TalkShow. I didn't disable her and I didn't copy her over yet, because I think that just broke it. Enable bulkheads, enable emergency life support, then disable bulkhead seals. What about me? Okay. So, power control, enable bulk. Yeah, you can see what I've been doing there if you pause it. Power control, enable life support. Power control, disable bulkhead seals. It's the other way around, isn't it? It is help power control. Okay, so she just wants me to disable the bulkheads again. Bulkhead. Warning, atmosphere is being vented into space. Oh look, the colour got better. Quit. Yay. You did it, you did it. The nuclear reactor is now completely deactivated and at a safe temperature. We are safe. Yay! Pretty scared for a moment. I mean, it's not that I didn't think you could, it's just the thought of actually dying for good was scary. It was scary. I do not blame you. Very much so. It's a close call. Something you wanted to ask me. I've had sensors working before I've seen a ship. It's only big enough for one person. It's awfully remarkable that you could just have a ship like that just for yourself. I just mean, in my time we were using generation ships, now it was incredibly state-of-the-art. But that, combined with the fact that you say there are no colonies, I can't even wrap my mind around that. I can't even imagine. So is this normal? Do you do this? Yeah, I do it all the time. It's amazing. Yay. See, when I found out I was going to get put in stasis and wake up far later, that was the future I always dreamed about. One that was full of amazing things like, I don't know, holograms, miracle medicine, ships that travel faster than light, colonies on other planets. That's sort of amazing. I mean, I've never liked science fiction, it's just too unrealistic, but when I was a kid, I figured it'd still be fun to live in it. Imagine my surprise. But it sure sounds like you're from that future. Oh, sorry, I'm rambling, aren't I? It's just the idea of finally getting that perfect future that I was denied, travelling with someone deep in space. Well, it sounds awfully romantic. Aww. Sorry, I'll stop now. Let's get back to serious business. Okay. So you mean basically asking you mute questions, because that's all I've got. That's all I got. What was her question for? What do you really look like? Didn't we? That's Freya coming into my room. Hello. A few thousand gigabytes of assembly code and gigabytes of memories. I don't really know what that looks like. I guess you mean before I died, didn't you? Well, I was 13 years old when I woke up and 16 when I died. So, well, I looked younger. But I wasn't really all that different, just shorter and I guess smaller in other places too. Everyone always did say I was pretty though, even when I was really young, so I guess picture a shorter version of me without the glasses and with my hair in some dumb braid or other, in a handbag, and that's pretty much it. I never really got to dress up the way I wanted to. This is the first time I've been able to wear my school uniform since I was 13, before I got put in stasis. How silly is that, being excited about wearing a uniform? Well, you're in a science officer's game now. I mean, you never know how much I was into cosplay, and I never really had a chance to that when I was alive. Why do you even ask? What are you thinking? You look good, sweetie. Maybe we should get to more serious stuff, don't you think? Well, you know, I'm just asking the questions, mute. I don't know why she's given me half of these questions. They're not like I expected. How old are you? She said she was 16 when she died. Born in the year 2415, and died about 260. Yeah. Doesn't really matter. So you just don't know. Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter. Question 6. How do you feel about mute? Of course that'd be one of her questions. Well, let me put it this way. I suppose, did she have anything nice to say about me? No, she didn't. That was what I thought. Really, I don't know much about her, other than what I've read in other people's logs. She never talked to me, ever. I mean, she wasn't above talking about me, but no, never anything to me. All I know about her, she's a gossip. I don't even want to speak to her now. Are you sure about that? Bet you do. And question 7. Why couldn't you just settle for a happy marriage? It wasn't happy, that's why. It's not like I ever thought as a child I would never marry. You tell me though, could you marry someone you've only talked to once? No, but you know, I'm going for the you ending, so I guess if she was the right person. Oh wow, that's really romantic. I like the idea, I really do. I wish things really did work that way. But it's hard to share your optimism. I'm sorry, I kind of got cynical fast. And anyway, even if I did believe in love at first sight, this wasn't love. He wasn't the right person, and nobody ever even pretended he would be. You've read the same logs I have. How much love is there? How much do you really think it's just my marriage that was awful? You've read what Oso Jin wrote. Here, you should read the letters the 2 elder Kim sisters wrote to each other. You can see for yourself what mute means by a happy marriage. Mine was just a political marriage. Plain and simple. Come on, you know that. Love had nothing to do with it. So did you just give me more stuff? Yeah, block 1. Woo! Letter to Sunhai. Dear Sunhai. Sunhee? I wish you had more of a chance to talk before I left. I'm sorry it was so sudden, not my choice, believe me. It's really weird living in someone else's house. Even just like the place itself, you know? The walls of the house are way smaller, and there aren't even separate women's quarters. It's pretty much just a paper divider separating us from men most of the time. You can see and hear everything. It's so very weird. Ooh. Also, there's a lot more to do around the house. If you thought Mom was strict, wow, mother-in-law makes her seem positively gentle in comparison. I know, I'll just have to get used to it. But she kind of scares me. Plus, we don't have any servants here at all, so I have to pretty much handle all the chores. I'll try and write to you regularly though, so long as I can find the time. Mother-in-law keeps me pretty busy during the day with housework, and my husband keeps me pretty busy during the night with other work. It's pretty much chores all day, every day. I'll try and sneak in another letter soon, alright? With love from your older sister, Yunmi. Let's see what you have to say about this. So far, so it's good, right? Things fell apart between them with time though. Here, see for yourself. Ooh, even more letters. Letter to Yunmi. I wish you could have found the time sooner, but if you say you're busy, fine, I believe you. Things aren't very interesting at home. Mom's been really busy lately. I think she's in a big hurry to get me married. I wish she wasn't. How come you didn't have to do interviews until you were 14? Lucky. One of them seems nice though. I think the man's name was O. I talked to his mother about you for a little bit. I don't remember what brought it up, but I told her about the dolls you left me. The second interview did. She brought me one of hers when she was my age and said I could keep it. Interviews suck, but I think I'd be fine with marrying her son. I mean, if I really have to. She sounds better than your stupid mother-in-law. Ooh, that's not a very nice thing to say. Her mother-in-law could be reading these. You never know. You don't know what the situation's like in their house. Thanks for being able to come to my wedding, even if it was just for a day. Don't worry about Mom said about you not having kids yet. You shouldn't take it that personally. I was really happy to see you again, since I wasn't sure if I would ever. I love you, big sister. I'm sorry for bothering you with this so soon after we spoke, but I really need you to answer something for me. I don't have anyone else to ask, and I'm really, really, really worried about something. It's really embarrassing, but I just have to know. The night you moved in, my husband and I slept together. I'm not ignorant about how it's supposed to work. I know why. After my husband said that everything was fine and that I shouldn't worry, but it really hurt. A lot. I was crying the whole time and he injured me so much there was blood everywhere. I know I'm not supposed to question him, but that's not normal, right? Should I insist on seeing a doctor? He seems so nice besides that, so I just don't understand. What should I do, big sister? Did I miss a letter? Actually. No, there was 2 in a row. Letter to Sunheath 3. No, you don't need to see a doctor. I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, little sister, but I'm afraid your husband's right. That really is normal. I've got something in my eye. Don't worry about freaking out either. You're a lot younger than I was when I got married, so it's probably even worse for you. I'm so sorry. It gets a little bit easier after the first time. It's still uncomfortable though. You'll just have to endure it. That never changes. I'm sorry, don't worry about the crying either. Men actually find that to be attractive, so just keep doing it and you'll probably make them happy. If you're lucky though, you'll get pregnant quickly and won't have to worry about any of that for months. That aside though, how have you been? How's your new family? I haven't heard much about them. I keep trying to ask Mum to let me, to tell me about your husband, but all I got was a lecture of how I was nearly 3 years old when I was nearly 3 years old when she'd been married for as long as I had. Oh, 3 years then, I guess. As if I'm not trying. So do tell me more about him and his family, please, Sunghee. I'd love to know. Love from your older sister. Yeah, you should finish the rest first. You can see for yourself how things turned out. Don't tell me you've got new things to say. And then not say anything. Don't do that. Oh, it's only 1 page. Dear Sunhai, I said in my last letter that I was pregnant, and thanks for the congratulations, but I hope you didn't rush to tell Mum. You'll have to send her the bad news. It was a false alarm, I'm afraid. I bled this month. I hope you're doing better, little sister. Your child is due any day, right? Oh, that's so sad. Oh, stop being coloured in when you don't need to be. Letter from younger sister to older sister. I wish I could have written to you sooner, but I'm afraid I haven't had the time, what with having a real pregnancy and all to worry about. My mother-in-law insisted that I take the time to write to my family though, so she got bitter fast about something. So I just finished a letter to Mum first. Sorry about your false alarm. I did tell Mum and she wasn't very happy to hear about it. I'm sure you're not really surprised by that though. The good news is I gave birth 2 weeks ago. Her name is Jean, and she's the cutest little baby you'll ever see. She reminds me a lot of our little brother, although she has her father's eyes, really. I wish you could meet her. I just think she's absolutely adorable. I'm a mother now. I still can't think of myself that way. It's so weird. Right now she's just so small I can't even lift her head, but every time I look at her eyes I wonder how I'm going to be able to raise her. Mother-in-law says I shouldn't worry. It'll come naturally, and she'll be there to help. I guess that's true. I definitely don't know what I'd do without her. At the very least, I sure wouldn't ever get any sleep. It's just scary, you know? Wasn't it just yesterday that we were playing together in our father's house? Now it's been nearly 16 years since I was born. I'm a wife and a mother. How did we get so old? You're 16 years old. I guess lifespans on the ship aren't that much. I mean, it could be worse. I know it's a good age for both of those things, and that it's really disappointing if you're older and haven't managed that. I have it good. It's just odd when you think. I feel like you're rubbing it in. Odd when you think about it. I'm not complaining, and oh, when you're a mother, you'll understand why, big sis. I just love her so much. She means everything to me. And I'll stop rambling and rubbing it in. I think Jean is crying to be fed. Okay, maybe it happens to finish rubbing it in. Mother-in-law can't help with that, so I'll leave it there. Take care, sister, while I rub it in. Oh, fine. I'll just finish the rest before I ask you anything ever again. Dear Sunhee, well, maybe you could use a little bit more caution in what you send to Mum, because it's not like you don't know how annoyed she can get, especially at me. There's a reason you're the only one she talks to. I'm trying, you know, but I can only do so much. Congratulations on your daughter. I'm really excited to hear about that. Yeah, it's a shame I can't see her. She sounds wonderful. I don't really have much else to say. I just want to acknowledge your letter. Things haven't really been worth talking about. My mother-in-law is still a crazy tyrant, and my husband and I are still trying to have a son. Nothing new, nothing worth mentioning. I'm glad things are going better for you. Regards, your older sister. Younger sister to older sister. How long has it been since we last wrote to each other? It feels like it's been forever. I wish you wouldn't be such a stranger. I have a 2-year-old son now. His name is Tai Hyun, and he takes after his father in a lot of ways. He's just started to learn how to talk now, much earlier than Jian did. No surprise, but Jian's a real sweetheart. She's what reminded me of you. The two of them had fought, so I was scolding her. I told her that I was disappointed. that I expected better from her as an older sister. I gave her the whole filial responsibility speech. You know, the one that Mum always used to give? It's funny. I hated that so much as a kid. I promised myself I'd never guilt my own children that way. Now I just think to myself, well, it worked, didn't it? Anyway, she asked me what it meant to be an older sister. I had trouble with that one. Finally, I said, it means that you should be a good role model. Teach your little brother what it means to be responsible by example. Show him. That was a good enough answer for her, but I thought about it, and it's not a good enough answer for me. Not at all. It's you that I've been thinking of, and you know, I turned out okay. I wish I could take back what I've said and tell you and what I'm going to tell you. You don't have to be perfect. You're not a good role model, but that's fine. I love you anyway, big sister, and I always will. She's not a bad role model. It's not like she's done anything wrong on purpose. Even if everyone is disappointed in you, even if you're not really family, and she's still family. As far as I'm concerned, you're still my big sister. You don't have to be perfect. I love you, period. Please write back, your sister, even if you don't have good news to report. I just want to hear how you are. Love, Sunhee. There's one more that she never sent. It's really intense. Yes, I want to read it. Well, there you are. Don't say I didn't warn you, though. Unsent letter. Dear Sunhee, you know what? Fine. I'll tell you the truth. False alarm? It wasn't a false alarm. I didn't lie about the bleeding. That was true. But I really was pregnant at the time. More than I let on my letter. As in, morning sickness, giant belly. You could see it. I was really pregnant and bleeding. Oh, my husband brought the doctor immediately, who asked me all sorts of questions about everything. I was fine, perfect health, no injuries. I told him, so I can just guess what's happening. So he pulled out his instrument and started listening for my son's heartbeat. And listened, and listened, and listened. It felt like forever. That he kept trying, and I couldn't understand why he couldn't find something. I knew it just had to be there. The obvious never occurred to me. He had to explain it. I'm sorry, the doctor said. There's no heartbeat. The fetus is dead. He couldn't do anything about it. It took a week for the actual miscarriage to happen. It was the worst week of my life. It was hellish. You've had 2 children. I'm sure you know what a wonderful feeling you get when you realise you have a child. That you know that you're going to have a baby. And you can feel him inside of you and imagine what he's going to look like and what he'll grow up to be. And that right now he's depending on you more than he ever will to keep him safe. You know the feeling, I'm sure. Just the day before I'd been so happy. I was going to finally be able to have a child. After I found out, I could still feel him. Dead, but still inside me, sloshing around. The day before, I thought I was filled with a beautiful life, but it was actually filled with death. I would have no son. What I was carrying was just a corpse weighing me down. I thought I'd feel better once I expelled it, but then I saw it. This awful bloody mess that should have been a son. It was awful, so awful. After I saw it, my husband had to force me to wash myself because all I could do was crawl on my bed and die. All I wanted to do. I didn't get out of bed for a whole month after that, save for a brief hour so I could write to you and tell you that I wasn't pregnant. Eventually I recovered. I realised it wasn't really my fault. Eventually we started trying again. After all, what you, Mum, and Mother-in-law have all been implying is right. I've been a lousy wife if after 8 years of marriage I hadn't been able to have a child. So we tried, and I did eventually get pregnant. Then it happened again. That was half a year ago. You're right, I'm not perfect. I'm as broken as it gets. The one most important thing in the world for a woman to do, and I can't. You've been pregnant twice, and you now have 2 wonderful children that you love. I've been pregnant twice, and all that's happened is I've killed them both. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why. The doctor says I didn't do anything wrong, but clearly I can't bring life into this world. The only thing I bring is death, little sister. Today I overheard my husband talking to my mother-in-law about considering taking on a second wife to actually give him a child. He sounded really disappointed in me. I don't know what to do. Kill myself, maybe. Since killing seems to be all I can do. It'd be better for everyone. It'd be easier on my husband, and he wouldn't have to worry about me being a disappointment at least. It's the only thing I can think of. What else could I possibly do? Well, that's so sad. I don't know about you. Yeah. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine that. Even as I knew her, I didn't even know either existed when I was alive. My brain. I'm sure their mother mentioned that she'd had daughters before in a sort of abstract way, but she never told me as much as their names, let alone, well, anything. Anyway, none of that was my original point. My point was, do you now see what I mean? When Mute talks about happy marriage, that's what she's talking about. It's not as if I'm the only woman to have a horrible marriage. It wasn't my fault. That's just what happens. It's normal. I'm sad now. And I guess we still only have Mute's questions. Go with question 8. Did you ever have any friends? What's a... After waking up from stasis, I only have had one single friend. 2, I meant, now that you and I are here. Anyway, before it was just her, the queen, my husband's wife, Ryu Jaihua. I wrote a lot about her in my diary. I'll just show you. It's probably better for you if you did read it for yourself. These are from right after I got married. Okay, so does that mean there's another block for me to read? There is another block for me to read. And I will read that in the next episode. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another time. Bye.